I call up an insurance broker and I say, hey, I want to get whole life insurance on my house.
No, you getting whole life insurance on yourself.
On myself. Well, that's wealth building in a whole nother level.
That's,
But let's get back to the
yeah.
physical wealth building, the real
But
estate.
there's a million people who's losing a house. Most of them look like me. Most of them are uneducated. So now let me help you. Because if you lose it at the auction, you're not going to make no
It's
money.
done. All right, so I appreciate you for coming out and just having this conversation. But honestly, 100%, you do a lot of different stuff in real estate, and I feel like everybody do so many different strategies, so many different things. But what do you do? 'Cause I see you making moves. I see you doing things. I know a little bit, but I don't think the world really knows. What exactly do you do in real estate?
Well, my main thing is helping beginners get into the real estate game. Now, the first thing that a person that's brand new would say is, let me wholesale. And it was really saturated. And it was really like crazy for beginners. They didn't know numbers. They didn't know a bunch of different things. So I started to go to the auction. That's my forte. So that is what I do primarily. I teach beginning people how to buy cheap houses at the auction.
At the auction, strictly just auction stuff.
Strictly just auction.
But so, and that's like certain days in a month, like the Wednesdays and stuff like that.
Yeah, it depends on like the counties too. So when a person thinks of an auction, they think of one thing, like tax delinquent. That's what they'll go for. But you have tax delinquent, tax collection, tax lien, mortgage foreclosure, judicial sale, seizure auction. Like it's about 15 different types of auction that a person could go to, right? So then it's county based too. So you'll
I'm about
think
to learn something.
it's a thing. It's really a thing. It's not like, oh, I'm going to go to the sheriff's sale. I hear that so often because it's popular. Like people
that's
hear that.
That's all I like. Tax delinquent, sheriff, mortgage, all that stuff. Yeah.
But that all falls under an umbrella. So auction is what it is. The type of auction could be whatever I just named.
Or whatever days. And
Absolutely. No, they all have different dynamics. Mortgage foreclosure obviously is a mortgage. Somebody didn't pay it, it's for sale. Tax delinquent is a property who did not have a mortgage, but they didn't pay their taxes, on the property. Tax lien is you owe the IRS and they just come in to see some stuff that you got because you didn't pay your taxes. Judicial sale, that's like a court ordered sale, but it could be any of the things that you did wrong. It could be like you filed for bankruptcy, so it will fall there. A seizure auction would still be a sheriff's sale, but that's like if you was El Chapo and they found bricks in the wall. Like you can't.
What?
That's the thing. Like I had a client buy a house for $300 from a seizure auction. Well, El Chapo might come back for his house, so I don't really do the seizure auctions too much, but they have them. Like if you were doing any type of criminal activity in a property, they can auction it off like if it was a drug house.
How do they identify $300 for a house though?
Well, see, that's the thing. The numbers really don't matter to the city because they're not legally supposed to keep it. A lot of them do because people don't know their rights. But they look at it like as long as I can sell it and make it taxable again, then it's a win for them.
Oh, they think about the back end.
Think about the back end. That's why a property can, the cheapest I got was a 7-unit for $2,000, right? They didn't care about the 7-unit being a 7-unit. They cared about being able to tax me for it moving forward because they weren't collecting anything on it. So it's like sitting dormant.
Is it hidden fees behind the tax? So you getting it for the 7, but is there some other fees they add behind that?
So no, when you're going to an auction, they'll give you an opening bid. Now the opening bid changes depending on the type of auction that you're going to. Standard is $1,500. That's the opening bid. And then you got to put down a deposit, and then you have 30 days.
20%?
Well, it used to be, 10%? Then they took it up to 20.
Right.
They kind of changed the down payments too for it. But so 10% down, 30 days to pay the rest, or you could sell it. So now this is where wholesale come into play.
I was just thinking that.
I was about to say, I literally started it to alleviate the wholesale trauma. People's like, where's the buyers? Where's the sellers? They don't really got that dog in them to go hunt for deals.
Right.
I'm like, well, the auction right here, now you are the seller. So now you got 30 days, in which is standard for a wholesale deal anyway. You got between 30 to 45 anyway. So I tell them line their buyers up ahead of time. Go to the auction, put down a deposit, sell it before the deposit is due.
So let me get this straight. So basically, you're wholesaling deals with unlimited sellers.
Pretty much. It's unlimited sellers, but then there's also a better market for buyers. First of all, if you're at an auction, you're with buyers. Like everybody's in there for the same thing. Also, you're getting a property so low below the market value. And even though you got it from the auction, because I get that question, like, why didn't they come here? that one deal was not going to be identical to any other deal. You won that bid for that amount that day.
Yeah, so it's still like specific.
And the auction is clearing the title, but they only have the right to do that.
Is it still the 12 months?
So 9 months. For the right of redemption, it's 9 months. But even with the right of redemption, I got a funny story about that. You don't take a loss because they have to give you back your money at 10% interest. So if you put your money out, they still got it. So I'm going to tell you a crazy story.
So basically, you at worst case scenario, you the bank.
Yeah, pretty much.
They pay you 10% interest on your money.
Now, the worst thing that could potentially happen is if you don't sell it at all, you was lazy, you ain't move it, you going to lose that $600. Because I just had people coming in bare minimum, $600. You'll lose that.
But, I mean, some people putting $500 down as a deposit for wholesale.
Earn this money, yeah.
So you lose. I like that. I want to get into detail about that. But how'd you even step into this, for real?
Oh, by accident. So how I started in real estate, period, was my grandma's house when I was like 19.
Right.
So I had it. I sold it for $150. Found out afterwards I was supposed to sell it for $350. So now I'm punching the air. I'm in the middle of South Philly. We being gentrified. I'm 19.
Did you know it could go for $350 at that time?
I had no idea what I was. I mean,
was it worth $350 at that time?
No,
you saying later on?
So just equity wise, because it was like free and clear. So now you could have did the hard money. I could have got investors. There was so many options that I had that I just didn't know.
So it could potentially been $350.
Potentially been $350.
I got you.
So I'm like, okay, all right, you fucked up. Like, that was my whole. You fucked that money up. Like, so now you got to figure out how to make it right. So I started learning. I think one of the first people I follow on Instagram was Reek. I bought one of my first houses from him. Crazy story about that. Because I'm like, all right, now you got to reinvest it. Because that's still my grandma's house. So I didn't look at it like, oh, it's a come up. I'm like, you got to make this right still. Like, don't mess that money up. So, okay, I'm like, well, where can I go? And it used to be this, like, little sheet that they'll put on the door that would say, like, my grandma's house was for sale all the time. And somebody in the family would go get it off. And I'm like, where the hell is this place that's selling shit that ain't theirs? Like, I need to go there.
Right.
So I go there. I got the money because common sense, an auction is an auction. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to go to an auction. I'm going to buy something.
The 150.
Now I got the 150. I walk in there. I spent $1,700 on a property that I still actually have to this day in Kensington. No lies, on Lippincott Street. $1,700. So now I'm sitting there with all that damn money.
So
like,
wait. So hold up. First and foremost, that's at 19 and 150 in your pocket. That's discipline right out the bat. So congratulations. I appreciate you for that.
Thank you.
That's hot. But let's go back. It's $1,700 for is the house a gut, a shell, or
it's
is
a shell.
it? Okay,
definitely
all
a shell.
right. But still, $1,700.
But now here's the thing. This is how I learned the auction game.
And what year is
won.
this?
This was like 2017 or 16-ish.
This is like 4 or 5 years ago.
It wasn't a long time ago. I was only doing real estate for like 5 years, going on 6. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, okay, this is how I learned, though. So I win a bid for $1,700. So I go up to pay the $1,700. They're like, no, only a deposit. You don't have to pay for 30 days.
$50? Like
it was $600 because that's the minimum that they take. They're not taking nothing less than that. So anywhere between the opening bid and $6,000 is $600 because they're not going under that.
Okay.
Naturally, 10% would have been $170. So I'm like, damn. So you said 30 days? Damn. So how many other times could I do this? So that day, I got like 3 or 4 of them. And then I started to wholesale them. So now I was just trying shit. Everything I ever did was trial and error, really. I'm like a crash test dummy. You gotta wing it, because that's the only way to really learn. Like when I met Reek, I see him on Instagram. He posting this house. It look real good. I'm scared of rehabs, though. So after I got that little Kensington house, I was like, ooh, ain't nothing in here. I don't like these kind. So when he posted the property he posted, I'm like, okay, I want to see this one. Everything was put together, painted, floors, the bathroom was good.
He fixed up.
I don't know if it was something. No, this is not something that he fixed up. I was about to say, I don't know if he fixed it. He did not. I'm going to tell you how I knew. I negotiate with him. I'm proud. I think he asking me for 60. I'm like,
oh, this wasn't something he did.
I'm like, I could do 52, right? This back then, I'm like, I could do 52. He like, all right, no problem. Dayana, you know Dayana, she in the real estate space too. So she come in with her friends. They try and get it. Rick told me I pulled money out. Like, no, I want it right now. He said I was real, like, aggressive. I don't remember that part of it, but I remember, like, being competitive. We get to the closing table. We on York Street. Rick in the corner on his phone. He just texting. And me and this man signing papers back and forth. So I'm like, oh, y'all partners? Rick like, oh, no, that's the owner. So I'm like, well, who are you? He like, oh, I'm the wholesaler. I'm like, what's the wholesale deal? He like, you see the assignment fee? He hitting me with it. You signed the assignment contract. $15,000 wholesale lesson at the table. Right then and there on the spot. I'm like, damn, bet. So that's really how this go. Like, so I don't, okay.
This is property number 2. First one's Lippincott.
This was like property number 2. It might have been 3, but it was somewhere in that field. Cause I remember my first 2 houses being dirt cheap. One was 17 and one was 6,500. They both were shells though. The one I got from Reek was a turnkey. I got a tenant in there. I rented it out for 3 years, made all my money back, and then sold it for damn near what I paid it for. It was in Alany. So that was the only.
How much was the rent?
I think I charged like $850. Great tenant.
So you bought that for 60.
No, I talked him down.
You bought that for 52. You bought that for 52. Straight cash.
Straight cash.
$800, $850 a month, and no refi, no
I'm trying to
cash
think,
out.
was it $950? It might have been like $950, but no. So all my properties now, all 26 of them is debt free. I got one mortgage, but that's where I live.
No lien, but that's because you're getting them so daggone cheap.
Yes.
It don't even make no sense.
No. But see now, here's the thing, and this is what I'm learning. Refining is a good thing. I'm just nervous about it. So I've been like,
at that point, you got 26 free and clear. Even if you took 6.
Yeah.
You know,
but see now the ones that I got moving forward got crazier because I started doing the back end of the auction. The auction saturated, but there's a million people who's losing a house. Most of them look like me. Most of them are uneducated. So now let me help you, because if you lose it at the auction, you're not gonna make no money.
Done. Yeah.
Let me buy this off you. So I got some on 18th Street, like right 4 blocks from Washington Avenue, Dickinson.
Oh, that 18th Street.
South Philly. I got a 3-story. It appraised as is for like $650. I'm like, damn, I got it for $15,000. Then I got the one across the street from it. What did I pay for that? Like $22, and it was smaller, but she lived in it. The lady lived in it. She was losing both of them. She was losing one for taxes. Crazy. She had a payment arrangement. It was like $34 a month. She wasn't paying it.
All right, so wait. We doing a lot of grabbing. We doing a lot of buying. We buying a lot of houses. So let me get this straight. Is this still the same 150, or did you start flipping some of these?
Well, I had to sell it. So what happened is, I think I ended up with 7 or 8 properties. Now I'm house rich, I'm cash poor, because not all of them was. Remember, I said I got a few shells. Yeah, I'm doing the math in my head. I'm like, 150 I had a few
shells.
Down. So I'm like, bang. But remember, I said I sold the one that I got from Reek and made my money back off that, so I used that.
Boom.
What else did I sell? I think I sold like 4, and then I kept going, and then I started using insurance.
Insurance?
Yeah, like being your own bank.
Like
infinite banking. You ever heard of that?
Yeah.
Oh, that shit work.
I thought you were saying something else.
Like, no, this break. Let me see if I got one. I do them all the time now, but.
So, and then, wait. So, what about Lippincott Street and the 2 shells?
See, Lippincott is still there.
Did they still just shells?
No, Lippincott still there. Ith and I end up fixing up. Lippincott is still there just because Kensington is still Kensington. So what I would need to do to it, I can't really do to it right now.
The type of money you gonna put into it.
Yeah, so I end up gutting it out. It's like, cool. I boarded it back up and I left it because I can't, like on that block, there's nothing that has been rehabbed in that area.
The amount of money you gonna be putting 60-something grand into it.
And then I'm gonna probably have a squatter, because nobody wants to move there right now in its current condition. So I'm kind of waiting for the Port Richmond to kind of spill over. And
that's smart.
I gotta wait. It's nothing. I'm not gonna make what I need to make off of it unless I do like Section 8.
Right.
But even with that, it's still, you're gonna mess up the house. So
that's smart.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Oh, I was trying to show you. So with insurance, how I do it is every time I want to do something big, instead of spending my money on it now, I'll buy a policy instead. So I think this is my last one. You see it. So this is my last one. It's $150,000. I put $150,000 in it. Instantly, my death benefit is $7 million. So it's like win, lose, or draw. If I never pay myself back, they take it from the death benefit, which is fine. But if you look, you'll see what's available for me to spend right away. So out of my 150, yes. So out of my 150, I get 97 of it back right away. So now it's like essentially I'm borrowing from myself because there's no interest or anything.
Making a house collateral.
No, I don't even got to touch the house. That's my money. I'm buying an insurance policy. It's my money, so it's like, okay, you can borrow back from it, but I'm essentially getting it from the death benefit because this still collects between 4 and 8% interest over time because it's a whole life dividend paying policy. So it's like having a stock in yourself, kind of.
You're making a lot of moves. I like this though. I'm
I had to learn because I was like not in the beginning. It was like business credit. So I was using credit cards to fix the houses up. But I'm like, that's a burnout because I got. How you remember to pay all them bills? I'm so sick. Like I have 4 kids. I can't remember to pay all them bills. Like this one doing the first. Right now I got alarms on my phone like discover report tomorrow, pay today. Like just I don't feel like that.
Right.
So I was like, okay, you know, what else can I do? But I'm an avid reader. I read a whole lot. So I first learned about infinite banking maybe like 4 years ago in a book. I was like, infinite banking, what is that? But I also remember reading about Warren Buffett, and I love Warren Buffett. His net worth tripled when he started to use insurance. That's what they said. So I'm like, well, what was he doing? How did it work? Then he bought insurance companies. I'm like, oh, he liked this insurance shit. What is this? What's going on? So once I started to dig into it, I found out Walmart actually got rich from insurance. They would put policies on their workers. Because they don't have to die. It's not about that. It's just like I get to pull money off of insurance policies, and I get to insure those who work for me.
Like a universal life policy.
But it's whole life. It's to an extent. So I think universal is like UIL. That's like the index
You can basically invest with the money.
Yeah, but it's like, so you got to make sure you do those policies right.
Yeah,
because they'll have caps on them, and then they'll have limits on them. So when I do it this way, if I never pay them back, they're gonna take it from my death benefit. So that's $7 million. They're like, okay, so instead of $7 million, remember that $150 you took? Let me get that.
That's smart.
I try to make it smart because I have to keep going.
That's smart. So wait a minute. So you putting insurance on all the houses, right? And you taking the money off the insurance.
Yeah, I'm putting insurance on. I bought my Tesla in cash. Because I had $80,000, and instead of going to go buy a $80,000 car, I got an $80,000 life insurance policy. Matter of fact, one of my partners just bought their Rolls Royce like that. It was weird. So then it becomes a tax write-off for me because you put it in your business name, right? You can count the depreciation as a loss as well. And then you can count the interest that you add on it. So my car was 85. I got it used. I was the second owner. But I gave myself like an interest rate of 9%. So I could write it off tax-wise, and it's essentially making my Tesla free. And
then worst case scenario, let's say, for example, you got $1 million policy, death policy, boom. And you took out $100,000 3 times from 3 different policies. You never got a chance to pay that back.
Your death benefit.
It's $700,000 now.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever you took from it, they just take off the back end. I mean, my kids would be mad as shit, but they'd be all right.
But you still got the houses, though.
Yeah. Because you're not like putting up anything. It's literally just your money.
So who cares because your kids get $700,000 and they got 3 houses. They better
not complain because I got insurance policies for all of them. Yeah.
But what I'm saying though, you still giving them $700,000, and then they got 3 properties. They just got to know how to sell the properties or rent them out and manage.
Together.
That's genius.
Yeah. You gotta read books. It'd be the weirdest books. So it's like not.
I read different books.
It's
not that
so many different things. Like, okay, for instance, if you ever went on a ledger, right, for the FDIC. Any bank that you could think of. So I do have Bank of America. You got to know that any bank you use only insures your money up to $250,000.
Right.
So I never wanted to put that type of money in it. So I started like moving stuff around anyway. But the FDIC is funded by insurance. And once you start to look at the reserves of each bank, you can look at Chase, you can look at any bank of your choice. You'll see that they'll say 15 million in real estate, 20 million in insurance. So now you got to wonder, why do they spend more money on insurance than they do real estate? Now, those are the 2 prominent ways to wealth, so it is both of them, but it's like they want more insurance than they want real estate. Why? And when you start cracking the code, you think the FDIC is funded by life insurance that people pay. Because you know it's 2 different types of people who get life insurance. Like my great-grandma, she gets a policy on everybody. She don't know that you're supposed to borrow against it and all that. She never knew that stuff.
She just using it for that rent, that day.
She like, if you die,
that day,
we need to bury you.
Yeah.
She never went into the whole I can borrow again. And she knew, she said, yeah, they'll let you take money from it. But she didn't know like at this level. Because I guess, back then they wasn't really reading and cracking codes. But yeah.
So what kind of insurance is this though? Like if I call like so for me and somebody watching this, I have 3 properties, free and clear, right?
Yep.
I call up an insurance broker and I say, hey, I want to get whole life insurance on my house.
No, you getting whole life insurance on yourself.
On myself.
Like your houses have nothing to do with it. I just choose to use my money for my houses. Now, like if you already have a house that's like free and clear.
Okay.
So this would be more so for a person who want to buy a house.
Okay.
You got your last $50,000 on you. Don't go buy a house. You got your last $50,000. Get the insurance policy. Now then borrow that money to buy a house. You get what I'm saying? So you're borrowing from yourself to buy it. You're the bank. You are the bank. If you already got a house and you need to fix it up, that'd be a good play. But if you already got a house,
you gotta make the monthly insurance payments.
But I do mine's premium. It's annual. I told you I don't do monthly bills.
Well, yeah, but you just gotta make that payment for the year. So boom, I called a mortgage. I mean, not a mortgage company. I called an insurance company. I say, look, listen, I want a $5 million policy.
All right. Don't get a $5 million policy up front. Are you saying $5 million death benefit? Or you want a $5 million?
$5
Okay.
million death.
All right,
Whatever
okay,
you
cool.
just please. I got life insurance,
I was
but
about to say
you
now,
got me wanting to change
my
some stuff.
150 got me $7 million. So if you wanted $5 million, I would think probably like 75-ish. A $75,000 policy. That's
$75,000 policy
would get
with
you-
a $5 million death benefit.
There we
death
go.
benefit.
Because if you say I want a $5 million policy, they're going to think you're trying to buy a $5 million policy. Then they're
Right.
going to ask your ass as you money laundering. You don't want to get in trouble. You don't want to do that.
Okay.
So you ask for it, like, and you can see it. They'll do your literature. Like I got one for 120, and I think they gave me 4. Let me see. I get them all the time. Like if I want to go buy something crazy,
And you just keep adding on. So how
I
many?
just get different policies. Just get different.
How many
ones.
life insurance policies do you have?
Probably like 8. I think I got like 8 now.
So wait. You got 8 life insurance policies, but you literally leveraging those policies
To buy stuff,
to
to
go
fix
ahead
stuff.
and buy.
Because I'm still, that's how I essentially stayed debt free. Okay, this one was 150, that's the 7 million. This one is 120, that's 5.8 million. And then also, remember I said it's dividend paying too, so you still get paid. So you're collecting interest on that money too while it's in there. So like, okay, 150 minus 50 is what?
100.
Okay, but with insurance, your 150 is still getting that interest because you borrowed from the death
'Cause you
benefit.
borrowed
So
from
your
that.
whole exactly. So your whole 150 is still getting that interest. It's not only 100 because I took 50 back out. No. So that's why if you looked at the second line, it begins to increase and it begins to grow. So like every year you see that it's more money. So like I think this is the 121. Let me see. Let me find it for you. You get to see like just your money growing. So year 1, or this the 151. Year 1, my cash value was 97,000. Year 2 is 198,000. Fast forward 10 years is 1.4 million that I can pull out from that 150.
Today.
It'll be in 10 years, but yeah.
But yeah.
And then the death benefit increased as well. So in 10 years, I'm pulling out 1.4. But in 10 years, my death benefit is no longer 7 million, it's 12 million.
Damn.
So it just continues to grow. And it
Do they
continues
red
to
flag you
increase.
when you call in and I'm asking for 8 insurance policies?
No, they don't care because I'm healthy and I'm young. They do
And
make
you
you
making
take a
your
blood
payment.
test and they make you pee, but
And as long as they're making your payment,
yo,
they don't care.
check your credit score. First of all, when you call to get your money back, they don't even ask you no questions. You sign a piece of paper and they give you your money. You know how many times I went to Bank of America to get a cashier's check and they be like, "You're going to take it all at once? What you doing?" That shit is weird. This is give me my money.
So how does
crazy.
that work? So you call the insurance and say, "Hey, I want to
take out
I want to take out
whatever.
X amount of dollars from the death benefit."
Well, when you say that you want the money, they know where it's coming from. You don't got to tell them hey, it's from the death benefit. That's just how it's designed.
All right, boom. I'm about to make this play. It's $100,000. I need $100,000 now.
So you call them.
I call them and I say, "Hey, I need to borrow against myself $100,000.
You don't even got to say that because they know you're borrowing against yourself. This is your bank now. So
I
you
need
just
$100,000.
Yeah, they say, okay, what's your account number, your route number? Do you want to check? I'm about to email you this piece of paper. You got to sign it. Once they get it back, they're like, all right, your funds. And it depends. If it's before 6, you get it same day. If it's after 6, you get it next day.
Yo, get the... Wait.
You don't follow Jake on Instagram? You don't follow Jake?
I don't know.
Yeah, you got to follow Jake. He a part of the Forbes Business Council. He the one who helped me set up all my policies.
And they not asking... And
No.
how do they win? Like, what if you just don't make that payment? Like, they don't have no collateral to take from you.
Shit, they do, first of all. Where you think, like, stocks get their money from? Think about a stock. Mm-hmm. Where do stocks get their money from to pay dividends?
The people, the company.
So insurance. You don't think people buy insurance? Think about car insurance. Think about how much insurance, house insurance, property insurance. Mm-hmm. You don't call them for 5 years because ain't nothing go wrong. You don't get your money back when you're done, do you?
Yeah,
All right,
right.
Insurance is a stock, essentially. So by you buying insurance, you're purchasing stock from yourself.
The word is filling it up, that pot. And not everybody think like you.
Most people don't know. Wealthy people know. Like this, that golf course talk. I done ran across some old head swinging a golf club and they start talking about it. And
I knew 2 people, 2.5. I knew 2 people that was talking like you. Yeah. They wasn't that advanced.
Oh, so you got it. When I put that much money in something, I got to know.
Something, but he didn't know that much.
Yeah.
But one person he knew. One person he was like foundational level what you talking about. So he was getting somewhere,
That's
but he
all it
wasn't
takes
there
is
yet.
an idea. But for me, because I was making so much money in real estate, I had to make sure it made sense to dump my money somewhere else. Like, I know real estate work because I've done it.
Right.
So I did do some research, but it's not complex once you break it down, because you're like, damn, people do use insurance for nothing. Like, I done had car insurance on every car. God forbid, knock on wood, I've never been in an accident.
Right.
So 10 years of car insurance, no accidents. So, like, you ain't getting it back.
Right.
That was a just in case type of thing.
Yeah.
So I knew how it worked. I
Somebody
just
told
didn't
me
know
that
the
insurance
back
is
end.
just you betting on yourself. Betting
Pretty
on,
much.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's what life insurance is, betting on myself and knowing that if it all go wrong and I do die, at least my kids are okay.
So now, all right, so I get the insurance play. I like that. I like that a lot. You going, yo, my insurance guy
No, because they are like, I mean, I don't know if I can say this on camera, but they like the Primericas of the world and all of that stuff. They're like
and all
the
that,
worker
yeah.
bees. You got to really know it has to be whole life. It has to be dividend paying. It can't be an IUL. It can't be a term policy. It can't be that. You have to know for infinite banking, it has to be structured a certain way. But no, they don't know.
What's the name of this book?
It's two of them. So the Banking Blueprint is one of them. I think
Banking
I think I
Blueprint?
might even got the PDF. I could send it to you. The Banking Blueprint
Oh, yeah.
by
I need
Jake
to read
Taylor
that
Jacobs.
tonight. Banking Blueprint.
By Jake Taylor Jacobs.
Jake Taylor Jacobs.
Hold on. And the other one, I read that one. That was the first one I read. Where's that? Infinite Banking. This guy's name like Carl or something.
So at this point, you don't need a lender.
No, I'm the lender. That's how I start doing my angel investing, my private funding.
That's what I'm saying. You don't
No.
need to talk to anybody else no more.
No, it's Nelson Nash. No.
Nelson Nash. Banking by what's it? You
Jake
said
Taylor Jacobs.
Jake Taylor
And then
Jacobs.
Infinite Banking by Nelson Nash.
Nelson Nash. All right. So now let's go back to the wealth. Well, that's wealth building in a whole nother level.
Yes.
But let's get back to the physical wealth building, the real estate. So now you sold your grandma's house for the 150. You went and bought a couple pieces. Bought one from Reek. Bought 2 pieces off the auction.
The end of that first year was like 9. And I just was getting them from wherever I could get them from. So by the end of the year,
So it wasn't from the auctions. Everything
it wasn't all from the
just
auction.
pieces.
No, it was some Instagram people, and it was the auction. So it was.
But they was still from. This is still you passing around, spreading out that 150.
It's still my 150. Yeah, I'm still on my 150.
This year one, you didn't even tap into the insurance yet.
No. I told you I ended up house rich and cash poor and started playing
you
Monopoly.
cleared out that 150.
So insurance was like year 3.
Okay.
This like year 3, 4, because I told you I'm year 5 now. So this was like new.
What year and what pivot when you like, all right, let me double back to this auction play.
Yeah. So.
Because you did it, but you didn't know what you was doing.
I
What did
didn't
you
know.
double back with
So
for
I
purpose?
think this might have been year 2, because I'm hyped. I didn't got my 17, like it's 600 down, like I'm hyped. So I started telling people like, yo. In the beginning, people leery because there's not many of us in there. So they're like, if it's that easy, why everybody not doing it? They hit me with that. I'm like, shit, I'm gonna keep going.
Yeah.
So then a few people heard what I said. They went and they hit me. Yo, I just made 60,000. You the GOAT. Yo, I just made 100,000. I'm like, this shit work. So now let me make it a service.
Doing the little auction wholesale.
Yeah. So I'm like, all right, let me turn this into an actual service. This before I even knew what an LLC was. It took for somebody I met on Instagram that liked what I had going on. Like, no, you on to something. Turn it into a business. I'm like, how you do that? You file, he called it the Articles of Incorporation. He got real technical. I started Googling. I'm one of those people, if you give me an inch, I'm going to take them out. I don't need much. Just give me an idea and I could do the rest of myself. So now I got that. This one, my investment cost was $50 a head. They $250 an hour now, but at that time it was $50. Then I turned it up to $75. So I'm like teaching people and I'm showing them. I end up with like 100 and something people that's like, yo, I got a house for 600. You remember that time on Instagram where I was flooding y'all with the $600 house stuff? Like, it was crazy. So that's when it became purposeful for me. And then it became saturated till like I made the block cut. Now I'm everywhere. Everybody was doing it. It was becoming crazy.
Is it worth going to the auction now?
No, they changed the dynamics. I wasn't saying Philly.
It's online and everything.
It's online. You need a $10,000 deposit. They try to shut you out. You can still do it, but I don't like online auctions at all. So if you still going to play with the auction.
This is from anybody around the world.
No, and then not even that. So in person, it's your best number. Like whatever you could do. So it's 1,500, 1,600. Online, it's your highest. If you go in at 5, I go in at 10. All right, Mr. 5, you lost. You get what I mean? It's not a back and forth type of interaction because it's online. So you have to submit the bid.
Whoever, you got to come at your best ever.
And that makes it hard because if you have 100 people online, you can't expect all of them to be novice. There are some people who are advanced. So 1 or 2 things are going to happen. It's going to be a blank slate because we all know what the market value is. We're not passing that. Or you're going to have somebody who overzealous and they're going to overbid on it and you
From
might
out
get a
of town
bidding war.
that just
Exactly.
wanna
You
be
got a
in.
New York person that's extra that could stand to spend 100,000 extra just for the strength on GP. But if you
Because
got
out
somebody,
there, them numbers is starting at 600.
so then you got that up against new beginning people who like I can't go past 70% of the ARV. Like, so if you're a beginner, you don't really stand a chance. So I'm like, nah. But that's why I started my own auction. That was the whole thing. But that's why I did it.
Okay, let's get into that.
I don't even know
It's
how I talk about
it's
that.
like
That shit's so crazy.
It's
man.
like I'm trying to digest something and then you throw something else at me.
I'm sorry. It's all
So
the
we
same
went
stuff.
to-
That was money, real estate, and auction.
So we went from auction, boom, that was crazy. $1,700 houses, $600
Love it.
houses. Then you hit me with this life insurance play, boom.
That's the
I'm
money.
still-
That's how you fund it.
I'm trying to hurry this conversation up so I can go call my guy.
I'm sorry.
And then now you
I'll
said you started
actually
your own.
share my guy with y'all so y'all can use him.
Yeah, you call him
I was
now.
about to say super
Call
solid,
him now.
super official.
So now, what's up with this auction? You got your own auction.
It's online. It's on Zoom. Nothing crazy. It's on Zoom, literally. I had to partner with this person who had the auction license, so we had to get, because you can't auction off legally without having an auction license. Most people don't know that. That's the thing. So I had to partner with someone with that. Now, I did the same thing, so I would find the HUD homes. I would have my people go in the back office who lose in a house. I'm still starting it at $1,500.
So you got a guy or girl that in HUD, and then you
that
just
find a deal. So now I'm helping people. I'm helping wholesalers. I'm helping buyers. It's a full circle thing. It's just all in one place.
so it's anybody that got deals, you put them on the
Anybody, you
platform.
want me to sell it? Because the back office deals, sometimes it's not enough. Like we might get 30. My last auction, I had 70 people.
So if I got a deal, I can just send it. Yo, sell this joint for
And
me.
it's going to go to the auction. Now I'm really intentional about not letting so many people in at once. It was bad. I had 70 people. I had 75 houses. It was enough for everybody to get something that was cost effective. No, they was in there acting crazy. I started at 1,500. They was like 35,000. I was like, wow. I had to stop a few people. Like, yo, you know you overbidding. And it's crazy because you give me a certain number. Anything over that is mine. So I'm like essentially still wholesaling too.
You still wholesaling. Wait, anything over what?
So let's say if you like, I got this deal, I need 50 for it. Anything over that 50 is mine. If it went to 60, I made 10. If it went to 70, I made.
And y'all signed a paper where you want 50 for this.
That's
Straight
it.
up.
You want 50, bang. Now I'm going to auction it and I have to sell it for more than that 50. Like I have to sell it for more than that 50. So therefore you get what you want because that's what you asked for. Whatever the person who wins it at auction does, that's on them. But contractually, we agree, and you have to put an earnest money deposit, just like everything else. Your deposit is non-refundable if you don't do what you're supposed to do, so do what you're supposed to do, and it work out.
And you got a team repping. It's not just you.
It's like 3 people, but no, it's not just me. That's why it's so crazy, because it's hard. It's so hard. Like, I was talking about it earlier, laughing. No, that pressure be on, because now people telling people, they like, I want to book it, I want to buy it. I had to take it off my website 3 different times. Like,
You don't talk about this.
no, because I charged $1,000 to get into the auction. I told you I had 70 people. That shit was overwhelming. Like, I can't
And this is just for people to get in the room.
just to get in the room.
How
Then you
often is
still gotta-
this?
I'm doing it quarterly now. At first, I
Okay.
did it 3 months straight. Did
Now
it back
it's
to
just-
back to back.
Now it's just quarterly.
And it's quite a secret society. No,
That's
it
what I'm
ain't.
about to say. How people find
It
out
ain't
about
a secret
this?
society. Well, a lot of it is word of mouth. I got a waiting list from my last one. But I'll put it up every now and then. Like if I'm on live, I'm like, it's the private auction. Come to the private auction. Matter of fact, if you look on my Instagram, I had a clip of the Zoom and they was bidding. I had the property on the screen because I do the screen share. I had the property on the screen. I show them some comps. Like
And you
this is
just go
what's happening.
keep swiping properties. All right, we on this one next. Bid up. Boom.
Go ahead.
Next.
Yep, going once,
And
going
they just
twice.
typing in the
sold.
Zoom.
No, they unmuting themselves. They gonna ape shit. It's a party. Like we be on Zoom till like 1 a.m. It's insane. They like not typing in there. They like 1,500, 16. I had this guy like 17,000. Now what? I'm like, no, y'all, no. Stop. I had to mute him. Like, no, we are family here. Everybody get some. But they be going crazy though.
That's decent.
It's fun. It's
That's
really, really
decent.
fun.
You
but
control
it's
you.
overwhelming.
Now at the point you don't need nobody.
No.
You
Except
don't.
a team. to
No, I'm
make sure that
talking
the
about as
contract
far
is
as
left
like
right.
authority figures,
Oh,
as
yeah,
far
no.
as the city, as
No.
far as like government. You don't need anybody no more.
No. And that
You
was my
essentially
main
became
thing
your
from
own
the
bank
beginning.
and your own pool of houses.
Yeah. Like if it get bad, I probably sell some of my houses. Like that's how crazy it is because the momentum is there. But it's still a good thing too, because you get to help people. A wholesaler who really just can't get it, they don't understand. All right, here go your deal. For them people who can't go to that auction with 10,000, okay, here go your chance. Like you still giving opportunity. You're making money. They're making money. So it's like a win-win all the way around the board. I mean, I like it. It's just overwhelming. Like that's the only part, because you got to get those deals, and it's rare that a person has those many deals under contract at once. So now you're dealing with several different like I had to call like 8 different investors. Like, you got this, you got that. They'd give me 5 at a time, 6 at a time. I'm like, yo, I need like 80.
How do you vet the wholesalers giving you the deals and make sure these are real deals?
Well, I be knowing these people, like it's Tom, it's Reek. Like I be calling people that I already trust in the real estate space and just go from there. I ain't really deal with no new people yet.
So you know for a fact, like,
they ain't gonna bring me nothing crazy. They've been doing that for long enough. They ain't gonna do nothing crazy. But if it's another wholesaler and they got it under contract, I think I did 2. This girl named Ashley, she had 2, but she had it under contract, and I called the title company because they not gonna lie, because they don't want to get sued. But it's real estate black and white, for real, when you think about it.
So the hard part is you doing your due diligence on the back end to make sure that's where it get annoying at.
That's the hard part. That's annoying.
You got 50 deals, you got to call. You got to do diligence on all 50 deals.
But you know the VA play, like I ain't really
Yeah.
But that's the annoying part, just staying on top, because you still gotta, like, with anything you gotta manage. And they be like, all right, I'm ready. Like, they throw money at you. It's crazy. Like, it's overwhelming.
They ready to close. They
ready to go. Like, right now, they like ready, and they got cash. Like, I meet you with a bag of, you cannot meet me with a bag of money. This is real estate. This is not how it works. Do you have a cashier check?
Right.
I ain't got no bank. Can you open a bank account tomorrow, please? Like, and then do it the right way. So it's just like the learning part, because most people, especially in this space that we're in now, they like the idea of real estate. It's sexy. Everybody make it look good. You can change your life. It's generational wealth. Da-da-da-da. So people are coming in on that and are setting false expectations for themselves. And I'm the one that's like, no, this ain't that. You're going to really still have to work. There's no get rich quick, but you can make it last long if your foundation is good.
Right.
And you kind of go from there.
So what's next? Are you scaling the auction, or are you about to jump on something else?
I'm doing both. So I scale the auction because it works and I like it. Tomorrow I'm going to go look at this hotel in Atlantic City. So that's next.
Okay.
Hotel, because I like transitional housing.
So a hotel but you're not going to keep it as a hotel.
So no, I'm going to do transitional housing with it because it's in Atlantic City.
This is a rundown hotel.
It's 100, but yes, it's a like full rehab. Wish me luck. But it's only 100 rooms, so it's not like a real big boardwalk one.
Okay.
So I'm gonna do
transitional
like a
boardwalk
housing with
hotel type of thing.
It's little. It's 100 rooms, but it's a good starting point. I always said I wanted the hotel. Like
It's something you partnering up with, or you going solo?
No, this all me. Unless I go see it tomorrow and I need help. Like I might. It depends on how the inside looks, because it has been vacant for about 5 years. So it's no lights,
what's the transitional
no water.
home play?
Okay, so now you can do that in a lot of different ways. It's like an upscale Section 8 though, like in a nutshell. So transitional housing is anyone who's in transit. So that can be a halfway house. That could be a personal care home. That could be a house for veterans. That could be a house for older people. That could be a house for foster kids who are transitioning from the system. You know, after 18, you pretty much on your own. That could be for battered and abused. It could be for whatever you need it to be. But then the government pays you on behalf of those people. The highest transitional housing is guaranteed. The highest transitional housing you can get is an ODP. Which is an independent living facility for people who have intellectual disability, so like autism and stuff like that. They give you $300,000 a year per person. So now this is stuff you could do with single families too. Like I know a lot of people who making like $38,000
per kid, per person.
Per person. So if you have 3 bedrooms in a house,
so you're gonna get $900,000 for
a year. So that's like $75 a month. It's great. It's pretty good. That was really good. You gotta do the paperwork though. It's not sweet. You gotta do that.
I'm pretty sure it's not. You gotta do something, but
no, it's definitely worth it. But a lot of people don't think like I was a Section 8 landlord since 2015. I hate it. I love the tenants. I don't like how Section 8 do stuff. I need my pre-inspection. They not coming. They coming late. They gonna fail you. So first of all, I had to wait for you to come late just to fail me.
Just to fail me.
Because they going to fail. It was never. I haven't met anybody to date who said, yeah, I passed my inspection first time. Nobody ever does. So now I waited for you. You failed me because all I'm really getting you to come through is tell me what's wrong so I can make it right. I'm really anticipating the next go round. So I don't really like how that work because it tie your money up. And then they have to inspect it every year. So I got to do this every year with you? It don't work like that with those people because you're doing a lot of stuff up front. So you have to make sure you get your licenses. You have to make sure you have like it's like a fire escape, the sprinkler systems for certain
Right,
things.
right.
So they like not gonna mess with you because they messed with you a lot in the beginning. Like they definitely digging your ass up.
But you got it all out the way though.
You got it out the way. And then you don't have to care for the people that's in there because at $75 a month, you can dish out, okay, here, this is for a CNA or something. Or if you smart, you partner.
So you got to make sure they taken care of too.
You have to make sure that they're okay.
Okay, that's the back end
You gotta
part.
make sure that
Okay,
they're
okay.
But you don't, nobody
like
that
as far
I know.
as filling up the refrigerator and stuff like that.
Yeah, you gotta do that. You have to furnish it, toiletries, food.
Okay.
$75 a month.
What
do y'all eat?
Yeah.
Shit, we could have Red Lobster every night if y'all like. What do you eat? Like, it's nothing to go to Sam's Club and stock up. You know, do the right thing. But that is the
if 75 grand a month, and so that's what we running to play on, like a 3-bedroom, 3 people.
That's if you don't. Yeah.
I would pay somebody a couple $1,000 a month
to just make sure that they stock everything up.
You're the nanny of this house. You're the housekeeper of this house. You're the what's in you in college? RA. You're the RA. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would just do that.
Well, one of my daughter's godmom, she's a registered nurse and she has a home health care agency. So it's just giving $10.99 with that. Like, can you make sure they cool? And that's how you keep all the money in the family. But you pay somebody to do the right thing. And that's if, too, because I forgot you can put 2 people in one room, like a bunk bed play, but the bedroom has to be a certain size. I forgot the square footage.
Probably over 100. Probably like 150.
It has to be like,
probably like 100.
It has to be. I gotta look at the actual booklet for it, but as long as there is adequate room, you can do 2 people a room. I know some people who like turning their downstairs into a whole nother room, like putting it back, like they making it work for themselves because they only have access to one property at a time. But you can do it with properties you don't own, like with the sublease. You know how people do like the
yeah.
So you
for
can do
Airbnbs
that too.
And stuff
but
like
because
that.
I have so many properties, it's like we'll just work with what you have right now. So I'm looking at that building because AC not. I mean, I won't say it won't get there, but right now it's not something that a person going to jump out their skin to go to. And if they do, they not about to come to mine. I got to get my Yelp popping first. So I'm like, shit, let me just make the money because they asking $3 million for it. So I'm like, okay. But then I know that the rehab won't be about between 3 to 5. There's nothing in there. No water, no lights.
That bad. What's the value?
And it's boarded. I have no idea yet. I have no idea. I reached out to the mayor. I was like, yo, I want to fix, let me help because he black too.
I would get but you would see what type of support you get from that because you're doing them a favor. You're doing them a big favor.
Ultimately. And then, I've been working with a lot of the athletes now. So they my new clients. I don't know, you might crowdfund it. Like, it's options.
Clients for what though?
So they don't know about real estate. Can you believe that?
Oh, so you just connecting them.
They have no idea. Yeah, I sat there with Lamar Odom.
After wealth type of stuff. Because the basketball is not forever.
No. And I'm sitting there. I was talking to Lamar Odom. I think he was one of my first basketball clients. He talking to me about numbers. I talked to him about wholesaling. He was like, yo, what? Like, I got the video I posted on my Instagram. That's what we was talking about. I talked to him about wholesaling. You would have thought he got drafted again. I'm like, yo, bro, this how you make money off of it, and then you buy houses. And he was like, so how can I get them? I'm showing him the $5,000 cribs, the $2,500 cribs. He in disbelief. He like, no, take my personal number now, because I was dealing with his management team at first.
Right.
Now he'll text me like, look what I seen. What this mean? I'm like, oh my God, like this is crazy.
Is that a lane you want to stay in, like celebrity consulting?
I do like it, but I can't lose touch because it's still the people that need me. Like, you gotta remember, I was a cashier first. It's in me. Like,
when did you cashier where?
ShopRite. I worked at ShopRite.
When year did you quit that?
15. Was it 14 or 15? It might have been like 15. For good.
So wait. So 2015 to 2021. So that's 6 years. That's not even that long.
No, it's not.
I like this. So you doing everyday real estate, but just in a
non-traditional way, because it's.
I don't even want to say you're doing it in like a corporate way. Like you're doing like kinda. This is like corporate thugging. I would say.
It definitely could. That's my theme song. I'm laughing so hard.
Yeah, it's like corporate thugging.
Yeah, well, I feel like I tried everything. Like I did a wholesale. I've done things, but it's like the lane gets so stuffy sometimes, and you really gotta sit and take a step back because we're not from a place where collaboration is a thing.
Nah.
They talk about it. Yeah, we eat together, everybody win. If you make too much, your deal too crazy, you pull up and something like it gets weird.
This and
you
that.
Get what I'm saying? Or it's she only doing this because the auction cheap. All right, go to the auction. I've been to auctions with people who said they went, they done sat there for 2 hours, ain't getting enough, and I stand up, I leave with 6 or 7 things. They like, damn, I'm like, that's really a gift. You have to really embrace the talents that you have, because the auction not new. It was there before I got there. It'll probably be there when I never touch it again, but people don't really collaborate, so I kind of had to take a step back because I'm a sharer. You've been around me. I give game. I'm like, this is what you can do. This is what you should do, blah, blah.
But
it wasn't reciprocated. It can. I'm at like 15 M's right now. It's whatever. What you want to do with me? But a lot of people, they didn't respect that lane. Like, I had people, no lie, it's crazy. I had people talk about the auction like, well, the title not going to get clear. Be careful. Don't buy a sight unseen. It might not have a...
That's the notion with that.
I heard that. But if you're getting a property for $10,000, put a fucking roof on it. Yeah. Like, what are we talking? Like, why would you try to discourage?
Something like you said, 10,000, 5,000.
That's worth 150. That's worth 80.
First off, in Philly right now, any and everything, if it's somewhat livable, is $100,000. In certain areas.
Wait, no, I got some deals. That's areas, 20. Yeah.
It doesn't even have to be livable and it's worth $100,000. Yeah. Lots are going for $100,000. So
I saw a South Philly lot go for $250 one time.
Yeah.
$250. I was like, what?
So if you get something for $5,000, who cares?
Who cares? Even if you sell it for $6,000, why does it matter? I got a house for $500. It's see-through. It's horrible. It's in Chester. I could look in the front and see through the back. The bones and the structure was good, but they're like, oh my God, I would never buy that. You should tear it down. I sold it for $15,000. But I was like, we got it under contract, and I was like, you know what, never mind. I ended up having to pay for that. They sued me. I'm putting Liz Pendants on it. I said, go ahead, I'm never going to sell it, because I started thinking about it. It's right by the soccer. So they make you pay them if you like void a contract. But I just wanted to see something. No, this was a private. This was me posting and saying I was going to sell it. But when I realized what I was selling, I was like, wait, never mind. They like, ain't no never mind. Like, I already said I wanted it, so I kind of paid them to leave me alone to take the Liz Pendants off of it.
Okay.
But I thought about it like, yo, keep it. But I got it under contract for $15,000. I bought it for $500. That's not a deposit. That's what I paid for it. I'm like, yeah, you can't go wrong. I don't care how bad the house look now. I don't even want to see it. I don't even care.
Yeah, because at a certain point, the numbers, like for me, like, you know, we rehab, we got them out, we rehab. Yeah. So at a certain point, it doesn't matter as long as it's enough spread, because we know how much a gut rehab is going to cost. So if you're getting it so low, it's like, what I need to see it for? I know what's going to happen. I'm ripping everything out anyway.
And then depending on your end game too, as long as your cap rate makes sense, because right now a lot of people respectfully are not wholesaling. They're doing it to build capital, but it's a buy and hold world now. Yeah. It's like nobody trying to give up their pieces.
Nobody.
So if you know that, then it might take you 15 years, but you know you still got an asset. Why am I selling? You know, so that give you more of a satisfaction. Because right now you go off of numbers, but they don't really, it's paper money. You know it. You probably had to challenge a few appraisals. They're coming like it's worth $300. Your worth is based off of what they put on paper. Yeah. But you can't fake rent.
I challenge a couple appraisals.
You have to, because they be like, this is only worth $150. Impossible. Like, don't do that to me. But you can't fake a rent though. Can't nobody play with your rent money. That passive income is what it is, regardless of what they say it's worth.
Why you think it's a buy and hold world now? You think because
I feel like it was always a buy and hold world. People just they couldn't afford to buy and hold.
Yeah, I think now, thanks to people like you, you know, other people online, social media, and just information is out there. Yeah. Buy and hold. I just was having this conversation earlier today and talking about how buy and hold is now it still is, but before buy and hold is a discipline and I'm banking on me living out 30 years for the mortgage to be paid off, and then my rent start coming in.
That depends. When you young, wild, and free, it ain't no more. I have one mortgage. That's
I'm saying back in the day, like nowadays we got all these different plays where it don't even matter now.
And they didn't know, and it's crazy. When I first started, I made a really big mistake. So I told you I sold my grandma's house for $150.
For $150.
Now my great grandmom, she still alive. I ended up retiring her, but she had one too. That was up the street, the 1400 block of 18th Street. And she lived in the 1500 block of 18th Street. Now we got 3 houses that's in our family. I sold mine, she sold hers. When I should have sold mine and used mine to fix hers up and pull that, you just didn't know at that point in time.
Right.
And hers was free and clear too. So it was 3 free and clear South Philly properties in the peak of gentrification. This one shit was getting crazy. Because remember, my 152 was a bidding war. I originally listed it for 115, I think. And I got 150 cash. Well, 152 cash. It went to a war. I didn't even know what that meant at the time.
So just winging it. You just trying to figure stuff out.
Literally, I had to. But I'm a big sister, too. So I got 10 little siblings. So being
Wait.
responsible in me.
Wait, you got how many?
I got 10.
Jeez.
And we like stair steps. So I'm 27. My brother 24. So I got like a dad side and a
Like
mom
back,
side.
back to back.
And I'm the big sister, so you making sure people up for school, sandwiches is made. Yo,
So
get
you
off
make
the
it,
phone.
even to this day, you making sure everybody's situated?
Got my little brother, his OSHA. Not everybody follow suit, but the ones that do, they got it.
They
The
got
other
it.
ones, they still doing good stuff because it's like, regardless of what you do, it's all going to tie in some form of fashion. Like I got a little sister, she in nursing school. I'm just talking to you about the ODP. All right, do my paperwork now. You're going to be the house that's over, the nurse that's over my houses.
Right.
So it's like a thing for everybody. I got one little brother who want to be a chef. Don't ask me why he want to be a chef. That's what he ends
Everybody got their passion.
Listen,
Everybody got that passion.
he smoke, he get high. That nigga started shaving lemon peelings like this is lemon zest. I'm like, okay, and it's good. So he really could cook. So I'm like, all right, we can tie that in. Maybe like a restaurant space. Like, because you have to think about it. Real estate is every single, like, you can name anything to me right now and I could tie it into real estate.
Yeah,
it's
for
inevitable.
sure.
Like, the food you eat, farmland, it grows. When you die, you get buried. You got to think about it. So once you understand
They always say
that,
McDonald's in the real estate business, not
that's
in the
the
food.
thing. So you have to really just tie in your passion to what's going to make you money. Real estate is it's existing. It won't go away. You have to make your world make sense for you. So I'm like cashier or real estate. And then stuff start drying up. You start playing Monopoly. And once you start to get around other people, because it's only going to be a certain amount of time you go unnoticed for being smart.
Right.
When people really dig you smart, they start giving other information, the conversations change, and then you get to just expand your territory because now you learning. It's like, damn, I could do this.
And exchange
So you done took real estate to private lending, angel investing, hard money because your money backed by the FDIC. Now
Right.
you are a bank. You done took this into a whole different type of world, and you could still be comfortable because all this is home. So when you gotta go look at a house. So now I get to see my kids grow up. Like my daughter, she took her first steps the other day. And
Word.
I only missed one of my kids' first steps, and that was my oldest, my son. He's 7 years old. And I remember his dad FaceTiming me, and I was at ShopRite. And I'm like sick, because young boy in his toes. So I'm like, damn, I'm here, and he there. Then I got to get off the phone and go on with the rest of my day. I felt like that was a monumental moment that I didn't get to see. And I ain't really like that. So I was determined. Like when God gave me my answer, I stepped into it because the opportunity don't really say, hey, I'm an opportunity. You have to turn situations into opportunities.
Right.
All right, so I'm going to make this work. I can't fail. How you going to lose? So when I see people that get inheritances or even this free money that was out here and they just blowing it on stuff, I never did that. Like, I remember, like, this house that we got, I remember trying to get a house 2 years before that. So we bought this house in 2019.
The one you talking about?
Right now that we live in. I followed the same rules. Pre-foreclosure, 2 people going through a divorce. I got 6,000 square feet. Got it for $319. It appraised for $758. I posted it at one time. So I got it with double the damn equity. I probably won't touch the equity, but I'm in a gated community with houses that sold for $1 million plus. Like, and my equity keeps increasing, obviously.
What was the condition?
It was literally, I'll show you, need to paint. I'm talking about a mansion. You know how rich people live? I had a green kitchen, some little ugly bamboo floors. I got some gray joints from Empire. Like, made it what it was supposed to be, but it was a beautiful house. No deferred maintenance.
I have a question though. So one of my mom's closest friends, she bought a house in Delaware. It came from the auction or foreclosed auction, whatever, right? But how did it happen though? And it was big house. She got it for
big as crap.
She got it for like 200,000, but it was really worth like 700. They had, it was funny because they left a jet ski, a dirt bike. She gave me the dirt bike.
We had the lawnmower. They
Yeah,
left a crib,
everything.
a changer. Yo, they started leaving so much stuff at closing. I was like, y'all gotta come get some of it. Like, we had
the
stuff.
whole house was full of stuff.
We got a whole workout joint in our basement because they was like,
They left the whole body fit. But they gave her, but the thing about it is, they gave her, she didn't have to pay that money for like 6 months.
oh no. So I actually went to a formal closing. I financed it. So I did FHA.
But you familiar with that?
So that's the same thing. Like she got it from auction. I got it prior to it going to auction.
Oh,
so remember what I said, 10% down,
Yeah.
30 days to pay, because that might have been a bigger situation, a different county. They may have given her 6 months.
Yeah,
But you get
they let her
extensions.
live in there.
Oh, they let her live there?
She was living in there for 6 months, and then she didn't have to pay or nothing yet.
Oh, no.
But then
see,
at that time, after the time period was over, she had to pay.
She had to pay.
Yeah, but she
so
closed
now with
on it.
us, no, we didn't move in until we actually closed. But we had another situation. The house before that, we was trying to do some rent to own. It ended up going sour. But I got on the topic because I was a landlord to probably like 11 people and was renting. Like, I was renting. Like, that discipline was that I had to make sure that, because I'm not moving just anywhere.
Right.
I want to live how I want to live. I
Right.
want what I want. And then I did it. So discipline really is everything. But them
Right.
foreclosures ain't no joke. You think about a car auction. You can go get a Bentley from a car auction.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
So why would you
On
think
one
you can't
frame
get a
you sell,
mansion
that's
from a
what you
car
do.
auction? Yeah, I know somebody that go every Thursday. Somebody just got a Porsche, a Cayenne. I think they spent like $4,000 on it.
I know somebody just got one for like 8,000.
Insane. Like one of my cousins had an Aston Martin from Delaware, a Delaware auction. I forgot what he paid for it, but it was less than $10,000. I was like, damn, I want to go.
So now, I like all that. So now, I know you mentioned you like, I do calls now for $250 and stuff like that. Are you just doing the calls? You got like a program? Like,
So now my
how's that
assistant do the
education
calls
stuff?
because we lined it up in a way, like you can only be 4 types of people in the world. So you have money and credit, you have money, no credit, credit, no money, or you don't have either of the two. You can only be one of those 4 people. So when you speak about a category, we figure out which one you are. And then it's a GPS system that we use, like, okay, where you starting, where you looking to go. Because again, real estate is black and white. Now it's the step-by-step blueprint. So we offer that, we give you it with the guidance. So my assistant do it now because they so prominent. So we do them every Wednesday. We do 5 people at a time. So when you go to the scheduling system, it'll let you book, when you go from there.
Okay.
But I'm now doing I'm like building out my system, my full blueprint, A to Z, everything I did. Because I used to have classes every Sunday. And then I start uploading them. But now I'm just going to sell it as a whole. Here's everything. Here's my contracts. Here is the leases that I use for.
The whole program.
Take all that and just go run and do it.
So you can do more like a online course model.
So now that's what I'm moving into. So we still do the calls. We still doing. But because I'm really tied up with the other people, these athletes, they don't want to do nothing. They just like, what are you talking about? Here, please make my money make sense. So that has been really time consuming. So it's like, okay, working on that as well as my real estate license, which I never wanted. Remember, I went to real estate school when I first started.
Oh.
I didn't want it. I didn't want it because I'm like,
I was about
okay,
to say, I
passed fundamentals, I passed practice. I liked it. Now I have to get it though because with them, it's front and back end, get the property management. Because why I'm going to get them the house that they don't want to take care of and then put that money in another property management. It's like all in-house. So I'm working on that, but that's the real estate license. Then you got to go for the broker. Like you have to do a thing.
Not even just that. I would have had a license because being around that circle, those type of deals are starting at, a higher number. So even if they like, I want to sell this. Yeah. You like right there. And them like, type out, it's not, you know what I mean?
It depends. Because when you could teach them how to make that type of money, I could find it. It's like I always have 2 groups. It's in my phone. Like when I get an athlete and they tell me what they want, I'll say, okay, Tobias Harris, he wants to buy. Lamar Odom, he wants to sell. Like I know who want what. So I'm like, hey. So it's pretty much cross-referencing. I'm the middleman in the deal anyway. So it's still like a upscale wholesaling. But I want to do the property management for sure. Like, so that's what I'm working on. But I already passed fundamentals and practice once. Now, I know you said you failed your test a couple times. I feel like I might get it right the second time because I'm over analytical.
So I'm being honest with you. Some people pass on the first time. Yeah. You smart. So especially you said you read. Me, I walked in was like I'm gonna pass this. There's a difference.
So you was winging it. You ain't study at all.
On the 7th time I did.
No.
No lie. The first 3 times I walked in was like, I'm gonna just take this. I'm gonna pass.
No.
The 4th, 5th, and 6th time I was like studying the flashcards and everything. 7th, 8th, and 9th. I was like, all right, let me open this book, and I really was.
Let me stop playing.
Oh yeah, I was, cause you gotta pay every time you go, and I'm like, all right, this is getting annoying. Then I really started studying.
It would annoy me because I gotta
keep
coming back and saying the same freaking questions, asking different. That irritates me. But when I did my fundamentals and practice,
it's like 100-something questions.
I heard it's a lot, but I went to Poli, so I passed fundamentals and practice first time, and I kind of dilly-dally, like you said. I'm like, all right, let me see if I could pass it. I was expecting to fail, but I got the practice perfect. I think fundamentals, I was like just making it.
Wait. So this at the class.
So this was, because I did
You ain't go
fundamentals
to
and
the-
practice
you
a
ain't
few
go to
years
the,
ago, but no, I
the-
ain't go to the board or whatever.
Yeah,
the
that's
state.
That's where it got me because I went through the class and I'm like, oh, I just passed this.
Yeah.
When you go to the real test, when you
another
like, are
world.
you taking the SAT? Yeah, it's a different. That's a whole different ball game.
Yeah,
That's
I
the
like
one
to
that be
study
messing
though.
people
I be
up.
cramming, like I cram.
Yeah, I'm gonna just wing it. You ever seen the picture Asian kid? He just sucking it. He got the book. That's me.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, let me just walk in and take it. It don't work like that.
I would not think that it should work like that though. Like
I thought it was. I thought I was gonna be able to do it, but it don't work like that.
So I'ma definitely like study for it. It's important. Worst come to worst, I felt when partner with somebody else. Like partnership, not a bad thing.
No.
And being from where I'm from, the first thing you learn is trust issues. That shit is like hereditary. Like you're raised to not trust people. Don't talk to strangers. But when you get in wealth communities, a stranger has everything you need. Why wouldn't you talk to somebody who's going to potentially take you to the next level? The people you know ain't going to do it, or you would be there. So it has to be a stranger.
Fact.
It has to be a stranger. So like we were taught, don't do business with people, don't do these things. Now I'm learning contracts is everything. I would do business with anybody. Really, this contract makes sense. This number makes sense. You know, so if it don't go right, I might collab just because I don't be feeling like the headache. But I'm going to try. Because I wouldn't forgive myself if I didn't try.
I think you'd be good.
Yeah, I'm going to try.
What I did, though, I sat on the last 2 times, I sacrificed one test to pass the other test.
Okay.
So you taking 2 tests at the same time.
Yeah.
So basically, I purposely knew I was going to fail one,
Just so
and
you can
I
make sure you
honed
pass
in
the
on
other
one, and I just forgot about the other. So now, when I went back the second time, the 9th time, I passed the other one. So 8th and 9th, I passed it with a breeze.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I'm going to focus on one. And the person that taught me that passed theirs like that.
So just using 2.
That's a lot of questions, a lot of studying.
Yeah.
And once, like 2 hours, you sitting there.
So you just go to this building and you just
you in this
click,
cubicle.
click, click.
You in this cubicle and you just clicking for 100 and something
Yeah,
questions.
I remember doing that one time for a placement test for college or something like that. They had me in a cubicle doing this thing.
Yeah, I don't like none of that
weird.
stuff. I don't like school. I don't like none
No,
of that
that's why I
stuff.
dropped out.
You
I
went
went
to
to
college?
Lockhaven. I went to college for a little while to be
How
a
long you was
clinical
there?
child psychologist. Probably like 2 years. I was like, you know what? It was the gen eds for me. Bro, I want to be a psychologist, a clinical child psychologist. Why is we in world history? Like, what? I don't want to do this.
Yeah, see, I don't need all of that type
No,
of
leave me
stuff.
alone. And then, for the most part, you finding yourself because you in there with other people switching majors. I couldn't really focus like that. So I left. And my gift was always helping people. Now I get to do it in a different manner. So I really like that. Like, so you got to stay the course because sometimes we got an idea, but we don't have the right strategy for our idea. So that ended up working for me.
Right.
Like, I really don't have no regrets.
Everything works itself out. Everything
I left. I
works
think I had
itself
like 10,000 in student loan debt. I was like, oh, that's it. I got right. I was like, here you go. So you know you're done. Move accordingly. Yeah.
So definitely, this was like, I got a couple phone calls I gotta make. You dropped
do.
like
I got a
some-
couple numbers that I gotta give to you guys
dropped
too.
like a lot of. So real quick, what's your Instagram name and how can somebody tap into one of these phone calls? Or when is the course? When is the program?
So that's gonna drop in May. I'm just making sure because right now they're time stamping the information, editing it, because it's gonna literally be like the first course. That's gonna be mindset. Because I learned how to use the DISC assessment.
Okay.
So dang.
Yeah.
Second one, that don't work wonders. It's insane. I don't even hire without it because I need to know where you need to go. So I ain't mad at you trying to, So, all right, you go from there. So that's going to be mindset. Then we're going to go through like just how to get in the real estate period. So it's like 30 different courses. Like it's going to have a syllabus and everything. So right now they breaking it down. I think they like 5 courses in. But I'm going to drop that in May. But the calls, they live now. You go in there, it's the real estate
How
investment
somebody can
call.
tap into that?
RosebuzInvestments.com. You go to service, and it's literally the first service that I offer. It's right there.
Well, hopefully people tap in. I know I'm about to book one because some of the
No, it's how much you about
some
to
of the
book
stuff.
one. OMG.
I gotta. That insurance play just threw me off a little bit.
Yo, once you start reading,
I'm listening to you and I'm still thinking about that in the back of my
when
head.
you start reading, you gonna want to cry because it's like
It's right there.
it hurt in the beginning before I really could tap into. Because I'm thinking, how many of my folks died without insurance because they was trying to make money when the whole time the money was the insurance? How many fish fries that I done been to when it just didn't have to be like that? Like, they don't want insurance because they feel like it's a unnecessary expense. Like, when I die, that's on y'all to figure it out. But it's not. This is really
That's
what will
selfish,
change
actually.
your life. Like, this, yo, I got a Tesla. My guy got a Rolls Royce in cash, $325 off his insurance. That shit is crazy.
That's
This shit is crazy. Like, it's the thing. People buying houses with it. Cause you think about how many times people try to do the right thing the wrong ways, like scamming. Just all that shit they did for the SBA. For what? To owe somebody in the back end. Anyway, it was nothing wrong with it if you made it work.
If
but
you
like,
made it work.
all you had to do was something that's right in front of your face. People, they get car insurance. They get property insurance. They insure their Rolexes, but they won't have life insurance. They just won't get it.
Well, a lot of times people won't get property and auto insurance only because you have to. Like, the bank won't give you the loan unless you get the insurance.
But how you gonna insure a car, right?
You can't even walk out the tag place without insurance. So the car the other day, my friend was trying to get out of there without paying insurance. She's like, I'm not giving you this car until you call somebody with no insurance.
That's crazy.
It's just because you have to.
But this is my thing. So imagine getting car insurance for a car. You get insurance for a car in case it's an accident. What if you fucking die in an accident, though?
Right.
So the car insurance is more important than your life. Like, still, that shit don't make sense. No matter how you come. Yeah, you have to, but you gotta be cool, too.
Right.
And most people have kids. So what about them? And then they complain like, oh, I wasn't taught this. I had to get it from the mud. You complaining about getting it from the mud, but you leaving a shovel for your kids to get them. You different. That's different. I'm not doing that. Like, if I say I want it to be different, it's gonna be different.
Right.
So.
Well, yeah, I appreciate this was deep.
No, I had to come sit on the couch. I like the couch. You made the couch famous, so I had to get on the couch. Yes.
This was deep. No, I appreciate that. We gotta talk. I need that insurance. That's decent. That's decent. But you said rosebuddsinvestments.com?
Yeah, both words are plural. Rosebuds Investments, and then they could go on my Instagram. Yeah, I get free game all the time. I'm live every so often. Rosebuds Investments.
Okay.
Everything is Rosebuds Investments.
But thank you. I appreciate you coming out.
No, no problem.